Hey, welcome back. In this video, we are going to talk about what is data cloud. Okay, this is the introductory lecture. Couple of topics that we will cover. I'll list it down into this brief. First, we will discuss about what is the need of Salesforce Data Cloud Platform. Then we'll discuss about what actually is Salesforce Data Cloud Platform and what is CDP. Okay. Then we'll discuss what is the unified profile in Salesforce Data Cloud. Then we'll discuss what is the evolution or how Salesforce started using Salesforce Data Cloud so far. Okay. And lastly, we'll discuss about PII, which is personal identity information. So the timestamps of all the topics are given. If you're looking for a specific topic, you can pick that time. Okay. Okay. So let's start. Before we go and try to understand what actually Salesforce Data Cloud is, let's try to understand what is the need of Salesforce Data Cloud platform. Why Salesforce is investing into this platform so much? Okay, so to understand this, let's go back to year 2000 when Salesforce were getting so much popular. Okay, what was the reason behind that is because it actually combined multiple platforms into one platform. For example, if someone is using sales and someone is using LC service, they do not need to handle these two applications into two different platforms. They can use single platform, which is Salesforce. And also this was in cloud. That means anywhere you can log in and you can start using. So that was the main reason at year 2000, right? Now, if I talk about this year, 24 and 25, see, similar type of business challenge is also happening nowadays as well, because the volume of data is so high that Salesforce itself cannot store all the data and make available for its users. Okay. So physically store all that data into one platform is not possible. So Salesforce come up with this smart strategy, which is called data cloud. In data cloud, what Salesforce does is it says, hey, you can integrate all your data source to Salesforce. And whenever you need to get the data, this data cloud platform will make the data available so that you will have 360-degree view of your entire customer. Okay. The other type of challenges, since we are talking about the multiple source of data, that means data could also not present in a structured format. Let's say data could be in format of tweets. It could be format of clicks, Google AdSense, Google AdWords, right? Those type of data could also be present. That also can be used in Salesforce Data Cloud to provide the business a holistic view of the customers. Okay, so that is the main agenda of using Salesforce Data Cloud. Okay, now let's try to understand what are those sources, data sources are. So this is the image of Salesforce Data Cloud architecture picture. Let's try to understand that. So we have different sources. This is our data cloud, right? Now try to understand from where the information is coming. First information is coming from Salesforce system itself. We have CRM tools, right? Where customer is using the data which is already present into Salesforce. Other type of data is presented to external sources. We have external data sources where data warehouses are there. There are data lakes as well, where the entire data presence of the customer, right? These data are exchanging with CRM platform. Plus, these data are also exchanged with the help of data cloud itself. Since you get a high level idea what actually Salesforce Data Cloud is, now let's try to understand the same definition with a different mechanism, which is called customer data platform. See, CDPs are the systems which generally used to collect and merge multiple sources of the data into one platform, which provide a holistic view of the customers so that business can drive some attributes from that platform. So here, if you look this architecture diagram, you will see this is our CDP, which is our data cloud. This data cloud is connected to multiple data sources. One is Salesforce itself, where we have CRM databases. The other connection is done through external data sources. These external data sources could take data from multiple different systems. There could be data lakes. There could be some, Twitter connections where the tweets are coming. There could be some sales information which is coming. That means multiple sources, which is basically routing the data through your Salesforce to the data cloud. The other connection is marketing cloud. Now in marketing cloud, if you are aware, there are different campaigns running. There are multiple, let's say Google ads are running. There are Twitters which are making a tweet related to marketings. There are different websites who are doing the promotions, YouTube videos who are doing the promotions. So all the data presented to marketing clouds. That data can also send to data cloud. Similarly, we have some Tableau, which is representation of the entire data, which can also connect it through your data cloud. So this is the high level architecture of your data cloud, which can take data from multiple sources. Okay, that means the customer data platform of Salesforce is nothing but your data cloud itself. Now, moving to the next topic is unified profile in Salesforce data cloud. Let's try to understand this as well. Uh, we will understand this with the help of example. Let's say you are the data cloud architect in your company, and let's say your company is Tata. And if you don't know Tata, Tata is basically a company which is providing multiple services. They have Tata Steel, they have Tata Automotives, they have IT sector. So they have Tata is a name of a brand which provide multiple services. Okay. Now Tata is having a customer. So this is the customer. Let's say this customer purchase a jewelry. Let's say this customer purchased jewelry from Tanishq. Okay. And Tanishq stored this information somewhere here, which is this external data server. Tanishq stored this customer related information to this external server. Okay. Now the same customer is also, let's say, flying and he's going to some other place and he's using again a Tata Group company, which is, let's say, Air India. He booked his flight with Air India. Air India also stored this information into this external data server. Now, let's say you are the data cloud architect who work in Tata, and your responsibility is whatever information which is coming from all those external sources of this customer based on the purchase history. You need to predict some more services which Tata is providing. For example, let's say since this customer purchases jewelry, which is stored in this database. This customer purchase a air ticket, which is stored in this information or this data source. So you know what is the purchasing capability of this customer and from where this customer is flying. Maybe what you can do is as a data architect in Tata industry, what you can do is you can start suggesting this customer that hey, in this country which you are flying, you can also book a hotel, maybe Taj Hotel. So this type of information you can predict with the help of this entire data cloud architecture. And how you will do it, that we will try to understand into these upcoming lectures. Okay. Basically, all this information which is coming from multiple systems, data cloud is trying to utilize this information. And based on this information, it is doing some marketing promotions. In this entire architecture, there is a very important key point, which is to identify your customer. That means this customer purchased gold from Tanishq. The same customer purchased an air ticket from Tata India. As a data cloud architect, how you will ensure that this customer is the same customer, right? That means you need to create some sort of profiling to identify your multiple customers that are whose data is coming to your data cloud, right? There could be multiple customers staying here, multiple customers data stay here, multiple customer data stay here, same here, right? How as a data cloud architect, how you will design a system which identify, hey, all the data which is stored in these multiple platforms are talking about the same customer. This is something which in data cloud we call unified profiles, where we need to profile our customer data in such a way that whenever we try to build something or build some marketing strategy for that customer, we can identify that customer. Okay. I hope you get a high level idea what actually this unified profile is. Again, in upcoming sections, we are going to do all these exercises directly into Salesforce. We'll try to create mechanism that identify multiple customers from the multiple sources. Okay. Same thing is given here as well. Unified profile is one of the key feature of data cloud because now we are not talking about data which is inside of Salesforce. We are talking about data which is in TV, like terabytes. And within that terabyte data, identifying a customer is really difficult for traditional data warehouses. But here for data cloud, since it is using AI models, it is not that difficult to create a profiling of a customer. Okay. Now let's move to the next point is saying unified profile in data cloud represent a holistic view of each customer. This is very important. We are talking about each customer that present into multiple data sources and that provide us a holistic view of that customer. Based on that information, we will do some marketing strategies or whatever business logic that we try to implement, that we will implement basically. Okay. By consolidating data discovered from various sources into a single comprehensive profile. Okay, this process involves integrating reconciling data from systems such as CRM, commercial platforms, and external data warehouses. Okay, with the help of all this information, we basically try to answer a couple of questions. For example, what is our customers' purchasing pattern? What is which category customer belongs to? Basically, we try to divide customer into multiple buckets. Based on that bucket, we'll try to sell something. Okay, so that's the intention of this data cloud. Now let's move to the next topic, which is evolution of data cloud AI platform. Under this section, we are trying to understand what is the history of data cloud. So Salesforce started using data cloud in 2019 only. At that time, they call it Customer 360. Later in 21, they have renamed it to CDP. Then they have renamed it to GenAI Data Cloud, then Customer Data Cloud, and finally it is called Data Cloud itself. So this is the history which is given under this thing. Now let's move to the next section, which is customer data challenges. See, if you notice, multiple data sources are connected to data cloud, and the volume of data is in terabytes. Whenever we basically work on that much data, we have many challenges to handle. One of the challenge is to identify a customer. So in this section, basically here, unified profiles, we talked about we need to profile the data, right? We need to ensure that the customer that is presented to multiple sources, multiple data sources, we need to create some mechanism to identify that customer, right? That mechanism is basically called personal identity information. We will create some business rules. For example, we will make sure if email addresses, for example, if there is any common email address into multiple sources, so that email address will work as a personal identity information. With the help of personal identity information, we will identify our customer. Okay, so this is the first challenge which West Salesforce Data Cloud handle with the help of this personal identity information, PII. This is also one of the important interview questions. Interviewer will ask you what's PII. So you need to tell them personal identity information is a key which we basically search into multiple data sources to identify our customer. Okay. Again, we have an entire session where we'll go and do the exercises. I'm just giving you a high level idea into this introductory lecture, right? Okay. So I hope you get a high level idea of what actually PII is. Now, one more thing that you may ask is, since we are dealing with really high volume of data, and we also store customers personal information, for example phone number, email addresses, some social security numbers, like those personal information is present into the databases. So be as a data cloud architect, it is also your responsibility to save this information. Salesforce Data Cloud, already implemented so many methods to secure this information, because this PIA information is sometimes very confidential and also have some contract level of agreements. For example, whoever data source which is sharing this information with you, they and you need to sign some contract that this information cannot be stored anywhere. So when we discuss about that into upcoming lectures, we'll take this point that any information which is coming from these data sources is not physically stored anywhere into Salesforce. It will come from these sources. It will stay here until we use it. Once we used it, this same information will be vanished from this platform. Okay, so Salesforce Data Cloud is not a platform which physically store that much information, because this platform is not meant to store the physical information. Okay, it is only for the references. Okay, when we design the system, you will get more better picture, but make sure the information which is coming from those data sources are not physically stored anywhere into Salesforce. Okay, so same thing is written here as well. How Salesforce identify or fix this data challenge. It basically make sure that the information is not at any risk, because we're not physically storing anywhere, right? Okay, I think those are the topics that I wanted to talk about into this lecture. This entire file Word format will be shared with you. Apart from this document, I will also upload a interview questions and answers for each lectures. So make sure you also download this. Okay, that is it in this video. I'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned. Thanks.